Welcome back to the channel. Unconformed here. Here we land. Federico Chiesa. Oh my gosh, it's a deal that came out of nowhere, right? And it is good in a lot of different ways, right? A lot of people are not really understanding really Liverpool's whole reasoning behind this deal, but I actually like this deal a lot. And I think it's a sign of what may be to come in the next couple days, right? We got him for next to nothing. This is a zero risk, all reward type of signing, right? And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is reminds me of the Barini signing or the Balotelli signing." This is completely different, guys. Completely different. You can't compare Federico Chiesa to those guys. Just a couple years ago, we were touted to actually get him for 100 million, and the fact that we are quite literally getting him for the tenth of that price is actually kind of ridiculous. And it was a perfect storm of a lot of different things. Thiago Mata kind of coming in and shaking things up and telling him that he's not going to be a part of the plans. I mean, he wasn't even able to participate in training sessions, guys. So that's part of the reason and the explanation behind why he's been let go for so cheap. Also, he's had a big injury in the past 2 years, right? That ACL, I believe, is what ended up going. And I will quell some worries about that ACL and the injury record and all of that stuff a little bit later in this video. But the point of this video is why this makes so much sense, why this is such a great move for Liverpool, and how this is going to be an indication of what is to come for Liverpool and the future signings, right? So this signing makes a whole ton of sense, and I'm going to dive into that for a second. But make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe onto the channel so we can continue to grow this channel. We are so close to 2,500 subscribers, and I believe we're like maybe 20 away from the recording of this video. The big goal is to get to 5,000 members of this club. You guys are amazing. You guys support every single video that comes out. I'm going to keep pumping out great content for you guys as long as you guys continue to be awesome and continue to support the channel. I appreciate all of you. Thank you to everybody who's decided to subscribe from the previous video. But let's get straight into it, right? So, Federico Chiesa. The one thing that sticks out to me the most about this signing is that, and Hughes is a madman for this, we used Dominic Solanke's sell-on clause to buy this kid. To buy this guy, to buy Federico Chiesa. We used the 10 million that we got from Dominic Solanke to Tottenham to purchase, I think, a player that maybe is better than Dom Solanke. Can I go out on the limb and say that? I don't know what the hype is behind Dom Solanke anyway in the first place. He's a good striker, but I don't think he's, 70, 80. That's beyond. I'm not talking about him in this video, okay? We paid more than Juve, Al-Hadj Juve, in 2002, 23 years ago, for this guy in today. Let's keep in mind, this is $100 million striker. These are all the reasons why I think this is a no-brainer of a move, right? We're also paying installments for Gigi, right? That's what I'm calling him, Mamardashvili. This is smart business by Hughes and Edwards. And I think there's more smart moves to come. And I'm going to go into detail on some of these things. But the majority of the money earned in this window have yet to be used. If you really think about it, right? We still have 70, 80 million left that we can spend on, I think, not a CDM, not a defensive midfielder, but a center back is who I think will come in next. And I think that will be the final signing. I think it'll be those three. There's more to come. And I think we need to keep an eye on Mo Simikan at Leipzig. We have a great relationship with him. Bobby Clark just went to their sister club. We bought Dominic Szoboszlai from them last year. I can see that move happening just from the relationships that we've already built with RB and the profile of the football player. Supreme athlete. He's almost in a Kanate type of mold, I feel like Mo Simikan is. Really good in the air, really great dueling on the ground, very physical and young, right? He's a good choice. He's a good shout. We will see what happens with that. But this signing of Chiesa isn't a massive success signing, right? It's not. We don't want him to be a massive success. And a lot of people will look at this signing and say, "Oh, Liverpool look desperate. Oh my gosh, they're signing this player that's washed." Let's keep in mind this player is not washed, and I will go over some of the stats for you in a little bit to assure you that he's not. But this is a signing that is. We have a long, long season ahead, a Champions League season ahead, and we need depth type of signing on the right hand side for Mo Salah. So he can start resting games, not be overplayed, not lose steam towards the end of the season, and we can rotate a 6-man front line in and out of games throughout the entire season and mix and match depending on what the opposition is giving us. Different players can come in and give different looks. We can have Darwin with directness. We can have Gakpo with the creativity. We can have Diaz and Chiesa on both wings, two of the best head-on attackers probably in the world right now. Their take-ons are out of this world. And you will get, once I read you the stat on Chiesa's take-ons, I think you'll get a little bit more excited over this signing. I'll give you a hint. It's actually higher than anybody on Liverpool's team, including Luis Diaz. And this is Chiesa playing in a Juventus side that did not play progressive football, that played a very defensive-heavy system. He put up those numbers in a system that doesn't even fit that style of play. And we play that way. This signing makes so much sense. And I'm here to tell you that this is actually a smart signing and not a panic signing, right? Teams that are trying to win it all, they have deep attacks. And this is a signal of intent. This is a statement of intent. Chiesa starts for most top European sides right now, even with his injury. Even with his injury, he starts for most European sides right now, or is a number 2 choice, not a number 6 choice. That's how deep this Liverpool attack is right now. I would be surprised if we don't go for a center back after this Chiesa deal is done. The money is there, and it seems that Hughes has waited this long to work his magic and start making some really crazy moves. And I can see more and more and more of these moves kind of materializing, not just in this window, but in January. And I think this is the plan, because Morton looks like he's here to stay. It looks like Stefan Bajcetic is going to be the one that's going to be moving on. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about Barcelona. I'm hearing some stuff about RB Salzburg, which I think is a better move for him, by the way, because he gets to be with Pep Linders. He gets to continue his development there. And I think Pep knows him and understands a lot more. And I think Stefan will pick RB Salzburg instead of Barcelona. I think he will, just from the relationship. But Morton looks like he's here to stay. And Trey looks like he's going to get senior minutes. Okay? At the moment, the midfield depth looks good. So, why would Slot want a player like Chiesa? Here's some stats that I think will kind of blow your mind. He's played more minutes than the bulk of our entire squad, and our entire squad played hella minutes. The one person that stands out on this list, and I'm reading it right here, is he's played more minutes than Dominic Szoboszlai. And you know that Klopp he was almost undroppable at times under Klopp and played a lot, which is why he burned out during the end of the season. The fact that he played more minutes than Dom should tell you something about his durability. He's done a lot of work over the summer to get himself back up to elite levels despite him blowing out his knee. And there's this weird agenda, or like this weird thought amongst a lot of fans and a lot of rival fans, that Chiesa is injury prone. He's not injury prone. He had one bad injury that put him out a majority of last year, so he missed a ton of games. So his injury record on paper looks really bad, but he's actually not injury prone. He played 33 games last season and posted some of the highest amount of usage in numbers out of any winger in Serie A last season, which is kind of crazy. So my question for you, for people that says or that he's injury prone, or they're worried about him being injury prone, it doesn't make sense. And I bring up Harvey Elliott for an example. Is Harvey Elliott an injury prone player because he missed almost 2 years with a dislocated ankle? Is he injury prone? Because if you look at his injury record compared to Chiesa, they're pretty identical because they both had a major injury. That doesn't mean they get injured all the time. Thiago is injury prone. I don't think Chiesa is injury prone. Second reason why Slot would want him. He loves a 1v1 duel. And that's slot ball in its finest. We play 1-2 passes, get our players into dangerous areas, and they take on their players. You can see that with Diaz. He's thriving in the system. Same thing with Salah. He's thriving in this system. You could see that at Feyenoord with Minte, right? Who's now at Brighton, who's a serious, crazy talent. I can't believe Newcastle let him go. But similar stuff, right? Which makes a whole ton of sense. His shot creation actions are actually higher than Darwin, who we know is like chaos ball. He's just always in the middle of things. He just can't finish it. And Cody Gakpo. In the Italian league, playing for Juventus, a side that is not an attacking side at all. You thought Darwin was chaos ball? You haven't seen anything with Federico Chiesa. I think Slot's going to let him off the leash in this side. I think he's going to let him off the leash. And I think him, Darwin, and Gakpo on the field at the same time will be dangerous for oppositions, right? So, another stat that stood out for me. His progressive passes received are higher than Darwin. He's a great out ball. And I think Ryan Gravenberch and Maka are going to absolutely love playing with him. He's constantly getting himself into dangerous positions, which is what we need. He's also a better ball carrier than all of our forwards statistically right now, right? It's a smart move. All the numbers add up for this Chiesa move, right? I love how this management team is moving. They're sticking to their guns. They're sticking to what they know works. They're not listening to the fans. They're not listening to my fan channel or everyone else's fan channel where we're saying we need to get Varela and we need to get this person. No, they're saying we actually know the squad and we actually work at Liverpool Football Club. These are the signings that we need. And I don't know why we've ever doubted Michael Edwards. He rarely misses when it comes to these signings. Does he have misses? Yes. But he rarely misses. And I don't know why we don't. I love that the management team isn't listening to anybody. They aren't listening to me. They aren't listening to any other fan channel. None of the pundits, nothing. They're just sticking to their guns and they're making smart signings and they're making the right signings instead of making signings just to make the fans happy or making signings just for signing's sake. They're making the right signings. And that's why I think they will make a center back signing before deadline day. Chiesa is a slot player and he is a Liverpool player who wants to be at our club. That was one of the stipulations from the last video or the couple videos ago that I said the player has to want to come to Liverpool. And this player does. So with that being said, I'm taking him. But got a special announcement for you guys. I know you guys have been talking about we want more content, we want more live stuff. I've been seeing a few comments on that. I'm listening to you guys, and I'm very, very happy to announce the ONFORM podcast. If you've been with the channel since the very beginning, you know that ONFORM is a segment I used to do every week, and it would go over the entire league and who's on form, what teams are on form, what players are on form, how that affects Liverpool, and what players are out of form, teams that are out of form from top to bottom of the Premier League. And I want to bring that back to you guys, but in the form of a live podcast that I'll be doing every Monday. So the first episode is going to be this coming Monday. Make sure you guys tune in. I'll put it on the page so you guys can bookmark it. It's going to be absolutely amazing. The first one will be open to everybody. Anyone can tap into it early. And then from that second episode on, it will be for members only, club members only. So we're going to be starting tiers here. You'll see them on the screen. I'll put them right here. for membership access. So welcome to the club is going to be at the very bottom. Anybody who decides to subscribe to the channel and become a member of the club, you guys will have access to all of these things, including early access to the podcast, shout outs on videos, and as well as loyalty badges, which I'll customize and we'll make them look cool and stuff like that. But that's there. I didn't want to charge you guys an arm and a leg for this. Only $1.99. It helps the channel out. It helps myself out so I can continue to make this type of content. I appreciate all of you. We got 2 more tiers above that, which is the boot room, and then you go world class, which is going to be a bunch of really cool features that are going to be coming out, like merchandise. You guys will have moderator access, and then you guys will also have access to a Discord that I'm going to be starting within these next couple weeks, where it's going to be all things Liverpool, exclusive content. I'm going to start doing more interviews now that we have the podcast with other channels and things like that, and that's where a lot of that stuff will live. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you guys. You guys are helping a lot of my personal dreams come true. You're helping me expand my friendships all around the world. So I appreciate all of you. Continue to put where you guys are watching from in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I appreciate all of you. I am so grateful for all of you that have decided to support the channel and subscribe. It means more to me than you even know and understand. So we'll see you on the next one. Peace. Boom.